Welcome. This is the 2020 Hokies Student Send-Off. Thank you guys for all joining. My name is Damon Abrazari. On behalf of the Virginia Tech Alumni Association and 80+ alumni chapters across the United States and across the world, I want to welcome you. We're doing this kind of exciting event for all of our incoming freshmen across all of our out-of-state locations. And I have the opportunity and the privilege to be able to welcome you guys to the show. Again, my name is Damon. I graduated from Virginia Tech in 1998. I hold the current position in Central Florida for the Central Florida chapter here in Orlando, Florida. I was once the president before, and I'm now doing it again. So I'm a two-term guy. For this student send-off, normally we try to do these in person, but as you can tell, with everything going on with the coronavirus and COVID shutdown, we've had to move it virtually, but that's okay. I think everybody's getting used to that, right? So we want all of our students to be able to locally hear from our alumni that are able to join us, some faculty and staff, and of course, some current students. So we'd like to introduce you and go through this program. We hope you guys enjoy it. And we hope you get something out of it in terms of waiting for you to come to Blacksburg and start your progression here as a freshman here at Virginia Tech. So without further ado, let's get things going, right? So we have a list of folks that I want to introduce you tonight. The first one is Desiree Creighton Barney. From the class of 1987, Desiree is the president of the Virginia Tech Alumni Association Board of Directors. She's the current member of the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences Alumni Advisory Board, and she's the winner of the Alumni Ut Prosum Award. So Desiree, welcome to the show.
Good evening to the incoming class of 2024. My name is, as stated earlier, my name is Desiree Creighton Barney, and I'm a 1987 graduate of Virginia Tech with a degree in communications and the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to extend to you a hearty welcome to Virginia Tech. We are so proud that you are the newest members of the Hokie Nation. Freshman year is an exciting time in your life. Although it will be a bit different this year, I hope that you will enjoy your time as you learn to navigate your way around the campus, not to mention crossing the drill field. I encourage you to get involved and engage with the university. We have more than 900 clubs and organizations, and I hope that at least one of them will pique your interest. My time at Virginia Tech more than adequately prepared me for the real world. It helped me to become a well-rounded person, and my experiences helped shape me into the adult that I am today. They continue to help me navigate this sometimes challenging world in which we live. I've made lifelong friends while at Tech, and I enjoy meeting new Hokies because of my continued involvement with Virginia Tech. We have many terrific resources for parents, students, and alumni. Alumni resources and chapters are here for you throughout your student career, but especially for you for the rest of your life. Please feel free to visit our website at alumni.vt.edu to find your local chapter. Although we weren't able to welcome you in person as we'd planned, on behalf of our alumni, but especially our dedicated chapter volunteers, I'd like to welcome you to the Hokie Nation, and go Hokies.
All right. Desiree, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. For those out there, you don't understand how much of a treat it is to get some of these people to join us, and it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you very much for Desiree and her time. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Alumni Association, we do have a website, of course. You can go to alumni.vt.edu. You can find a lot more information about our local chapters. And I'll just add for the parents out there, right, if you're looking for information and you're worried about your son or daughter going up to Blacksburg and you're stuck out in your own state, find the local chapter there, connect with them. You know, there's all kinds of ways, you know, you can connect with them and communicate with them, and we'd be happy to help you out. All right. With that said, what do we do as chapters, right? So we'll get a little bit into that. We host game watching parties. I know that's kind of the big deal, right? Everybody wants to get together and watch some football. We do some basketball parties. We'll do local events here for community service events, soup kitchens and giving back events. Local, for here in Orlando, we'll get active in some of the local children's hospitals. And we also raise money every year for scholarships for those students who do go up to Virginia Tech. As we all know, out-of-state tuition is a little bit different than in-state, so we do what we can to try to help out with that. So again, just like Desiree said, thank you for all the alumni chapters that are out there. I know for us here, it's something that we enjoy doing. It's our connection back to the school, and we really appreciate that. All right, so with that said, on to our next invitee. So we have the extreme pleasure of inviting this young man to the show. His name is Brian Sullivan. He graduated in 1993. He's a member of Virginia Tech Alumni Association Board of Directors, and he's a member of the Pamplin Financial Advisory Board. If you've seen Brian, he's actually on television. He's a television news anchor and business journalist for CNBC. So with that, I'd like to introduce Brian Sullivan. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Yeah, Damon and everybody, and Dominique and everybody, and Christian, everybody running this feed. I'm honored to be here. And class of 2024, man, what it would be like to be in your shoes right now. I remember the excitement, the nervousness of getting in my old Toyota pickup truck, driving down 81. My buddy and I from Winchester, Virginia, went to school together. We roomed together. My parents didn't come. We moved ourselves in. We were the only ones. By the way, we were done in half the time. And I just remember literally shaking with nervousness and excitement. Lived in a dorm called Pritchard. Some of you maybe headed there. It was a lot different then. It was all guys, and it was not a nice place to be. I can assure you, about 1,000 dudes yelling all night long. But now it's a much better place. In fact, the cool thing about Virginia Tech, well, there's so many cool things, is that despite being called a young man, and I appreciate that very much, Damon, I am an old man. I'm almost 50 years old. And when I went to Tech, I would consider Virginia Tech a very good regional university. And it was, and I would say most of the people that I knew that went there, I played in the rugby team. I was in a fraternity. I was in a number of clubs, et cetera. Most of the people I met were either from Virginia or maybe Nova, Maryland, Bethesda, Potomac area, a couple Severna Parks. I live in New Jersey now. You get the obligatory New Jersey folks as well, but you didn't really meet a lot of people from, Chicago or Texas. That is so different now. And I don't know where everybody is watching this from, but Virginia Tech is no longer a really good regional school. It's a great national and international university. And it's so cool to have been part of something and that has come up. Colleges across America certainly have struggled. Some have prospered. I don't know of any college in the last 20 or 30 years that has raised its profile nationally and internationally the way that Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. That's the old helmet logo, by the way. I'm glad they changed, although I do kind of like the TV. Given what I did, that's not an accident. The school has really come up. It's a testament to the leadership right now of Dr. Tim Sands, of all the faculty and staff there that have busted their butts so hard. You just heard from Desiree. She's the president of the Alumni Board Association. I'm pleased to be on that with her as well. In fact, she runs it, and I just do what she tells me to do. So it is and as she laid out 900 plus organizations, it is a spectacular school that has not only grown physically. Every time I go down, there's a new building. They have reinvested in their campus. They continue to grow and expand. It is arguably one of the most beautiful schools in the United States. I played in the rugby team for a couple of years, so I saw a lot of colleges, and you always were happy to come back to Blacksburg. So they asked me to say, what would I have done differently if I could go back and talk to my freshman self? Well, I wouldn't have had the ugly mullet. I had long hair on the side, and it was probably the worst haircut known to human beings. That aside, the obligatory, I would have studied more, which is true, was I probably would have spread my wings a little bit further out in terms of some of the cool clubs and organizations, and maybe spent a little less time outside. The one thing about the Blacksburg that they don't talk to you about is that there's a lot of distractions in a good way. Good skiing an hour away, the New River, mountain biking, caving. I may or may not have gone into some caves, but that's not a sanctioned activity, so you never heard that. It is an outdoor wonderland. It is an indoor wonderland with the brain power there and the teachers and the professors. Honestly, it is a magical place. And every time you get off that exit, you feel the energy from the campus radiating. I still do, even at nearly 50 years old, and maybe I'll have some future Hokies with my kids as well. So wherever you're watching from, wherever you're going, you are headed to a special place. You made the right decision. I know that this is not necessarily the year everybody wants. I get it. But this will be in the rearview mirror at some point, and you will have a wonderful college experience. And I hope to see all of you in real life, not virtually, at TOTS. If you don't know what that is, you will, but I can't see you for about 4 years based on how old you probably are. So in 4 years, I'll see all of you at TOTS. Have a spectacular experience, everybody. Go Hokies, and just do your best and have a great time. You're going to make a lot of cool friends.
Man, that's awesome. I got to tell you guys, thank you, Brian, so much. I don't know why Brian's with the Alumni Association. He needs to be with admissions, because you just painted the exact picture of Blacksburg in like 3 minutes. I'm telling you, he's absolutely right. You can go into the mountains, you can go tubing, you can go golfing, I mean, there's so much to do. I'll add to it, right? You can have snowball battles in the middle of campus. That's always huge every year. If you don't know about it, you soon will. And fun fact for everybody, right? So Brian and I think we've been in, he's on mute. Brian and we've been in passing before, and I don't think he knows this, but back in campus, but we've never really actually met. Brian grew up about 10 minutes from where I did. And I started school the year after he graduated. So we're not too far apart. So the young man thing is appropriate. I just want him to know that. So I'm right behind him. All right, cool. So appreciate it, Brian. Thank you for taking the time. That's really awesome. So the Virginia Tech Alumni Association, obviously we're committed. As you can see, we have 2 great representatives right now. We try to engage with our Hokies across all of aspects of life through postgraduate life. So we want to make sure that we do our part. And as you can see, we all try to pitch in and reach out to those folks. And we're starting now as you come in, but you're not going to stop seeing us when you get out. We also have our young alumni committees in major cities across the country. Now, we actually have a young alumni group here in Orlando, Florida, for Central Florida. But there's also some in other areas. And what that is we get our younger alumni that are 0 to 10 years of postgraduate. So you could be up to 10 years past your graduation year and still be considered a young alumni. So don't worry about it. If you graduated at 21, by the time you're 31, you're still a young graduate. And I'm 43, so I'm still considered a young graduate. I try to do events with the young alumni as much as I can. And some of that can entail Topgolf. Some of it can be hiking. Some of it can be swimming. Some of it can be going to beach trips or doing a beach cleanup. So we do a lot of those events, and the young alumni really push for that. So with that being said, we have a young alumni that's ready to speak to us as we transition into the next piece. I want to introduce you guys to Daria Viktorov of the class of 2014. Daria is in San Francisco. She's an alumni chapter member. She's part of the Future Young Alumni. She's a committee chair, and she's currently a financial advisor at Abacus Wealth Partners. So with that being said, Daria, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone, and I'm doing well. And you might see my sweater on because it's July in San Francisco, which means it's cold still. I think it's about 70 or 65 degrees here, and that's pretty much as hot as it gets, except maybe 5 sporadic days out of the year. You get 80 or 85, and you wish you had air conditioning, but you save a lot of money on air conditioning and electric costs. So I hope you guys are having a great evening. As Damien mentioned, my name's Daria. I live out here in San Francisco. I graduated in 2014 with a degree in applied economic management and a minor in business, also known as the Certified Financial Planner track. Now that's part of the Pamplin College of Business Finance. About a month after graduating, I packed up my car and moved to the Bay Area. I took a job at an independent financial planning firm where I only know 4 people, And that was it. I probably realized that when I was filling out my gym membership and realized I didn't have a emergency contact. Looking back, I must have been crazy to move 2,700 miles away from home and not know anyone. But I never regret it, even 6 or 7 years later. It was my experiences at Virginia Tech that gave me the courage to make this decision, that it also allowed me to thrive in my position as a financial advisor at a couple different firms. Sure, I graduated with technical skills and tax planning and investments and retirement. It's never too early to start saving. But what I really learned at Virginia Tech was how to make a sense of community. And for me, what that meant was how to give back to the people I cared about, and they could count on me as much as I could count on them. Whether that was to get a ride to Torgerson, you probably will spend a lot of time studying there for an all-nighter, or just to give me honest feedback on a presentation or a paper I had written. But those skills also translated for me to be a better teammate and meet several of my professional goals of becoming a certified financial planner and a lead advisor, which is allowing me to transform my clients' lives through personal finance. The sense of community also helped me through my personal life, where I met my best friend and the love of my life. Although there were times where both those people were thousands of miles away from me, being on the West Coast, it was the bond that we created over those 4 years that really helped us keep us together. Those people are there for the best and the worst times of your life, but most importantly, the people that you meet at Virginia Tech will help you shape into a better version of yourself. While I was developing my sense of community, I was also ingrained with the sense of ut prosum, or that I may serve for those incoming freshmen. It was important to me to not only give back to my immediate community, but also those who intersected with my friends, family, classmates, and professional allies. I became involved with a number of different volunteer activities, whether it was tutoring students at a local elementary school or picking a tree of overflowing apples to feed hungry New River Valley residents. Looking back, although those were important events that I experienced, it was really what I gained from the leadership in my student chapter of the Financial Planning Association. I learned to collaborate with my peers. I learned to coordinate with external professionals and to brainstorm with the professors. All of those skills and experiences had a direct impact on the students in my major, but also the future of the profession that I work in. Even after days of graduating, the ut prosum has really lived on as I've volunteered through a number of other engagement here, whether it's pro bono financial planning, tax preparation, or even the SPCA. But I also continue to take on leadership roles through the non-student chapter of FPA, the Financial Planning Association, Toastmasters, but most importantly, my alumni group. Of course, when I was moving to San Francisco and I didn't know anyone, the first place I looked was for fellow Hokies. There's surprisingly more of us in the Bay Area than you would expect. I don't know if you guys know that Tim Sands is actually from the Bay Area. So we're bound together by being a bunch of transplants. That's a good reminder that it's socially acceptable to still wear orange and maroon, even out here in the Bay Area. Together, we don't just watch football games or basketball games. We volunteer at food banks. We clean up the ocean. We do a 3.2 remembrance run along the bay. But all together, we have we're Hokies. We have we have a friendly sense of community here, even though we might be thousands of miles away from our home. As you begin your journey at Tech, know that you're about to embark on a unique experience, and like any other. Take those opportunities that present themselves, even though at the time you might not know why it's worth it. Be involved with those clubs or people that ignite your curiosity. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll go through periods of confusion and questioning, but know that all in the end, it's going to be worth it. Because no matter what, you're about to be part of the Hokie community, and you'll be able to find your people and the sense of ut prosum that will guide you through the next phase of your life. While the beginning of your freshman year might not be as you envisioned, seize the moment and take control of the uncertainty that we're currently facing in our world. Make the most of your time in Blacksburg, whether that's in person or online, and know that you're forever a Hokie, and it'll shape the time in Blacksburg will shape your next 4 years. Thank you.
Wow, Daria, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I got to tell you, my wife is actually a Hokie as well. So I come from, we went to school together. So I went away for a while. She finished school. So yeah, I totally get that aspect. And she's totally right. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. You run across the Hokie, you're going to say hi to them, right? So I've traveled all over the world. I've been to 35, 37 different countries. And it doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be walking down the street in Venice. I could be in Germany. I was in UAE, out in Dubai, and I ran into people with Virginia Tech shirts. So, and doesn't matter where you're at, let's go, right? So appreciate it, Daria. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So on to our next one. We have another young alumni teed up. I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Philip Hess, class of 2009. Philip's coming to us from New York City. He's with the Young Alumni. He's a committee chair. He's also the Student Affairs Young Alumni Board member, and he's a director of Global Brand Operations at McCann World Group. So welcome to the stage, Mr. Hess. We appreciate you joining us. What do you have for these young 2024 freshmen coming in?
Thanks, Damon. What do I have? Well, what I have has already been said, which I think is the most beautiful thing about being a Hokie, is you're going to hear these themes that sort of, I guess, run through everybody's experience, and that's going to be community, involvement, and service. So I went to Virginia Tech. Actually, it was not the school that I wanted to go to. I desperately wanted to go to UVA. They required at the time that you had to take an SAT and an ACT. And I thought, well, that's silly. I don't want to take two tests. And so I went for a campus tour, did not like it. And my mom ended up being the one that required me to go down to Virginia Tech to see it and, see for myself. Begrudgingly, we went down, came off 460, and I was blown away. It was the Hokie Stone, it was the drill field, it was the beauty of the architecture. Took a tour, fell in love with it, ended up shaving VT into the back of my head to announce to everyone that I was going there. I entered with the class of 2009, had too much fun, and left with the class of 2010. Originally, I was going to be a dentist, and so I did biology and chemistry. Halfway through, I saw How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and thought advertising in New York City looks pretty fun. So I switched to marketing and communications with a concentration in PR. But I think the most valuable thing that I got out of my 5 amazing years at Virginia Tech was seeing just how amazing accomplishments can be if everyone comes together in the name of service. We had a big event where all of the students would go out to the town and be community service for a day. We had the largest Relay for Life in the country, volunteer marching band. I was a proud Hokie ambassador, which is our volunteer tour guides. There's a lot of giving of your time and your energy and your love that happens in Blacksburg, and then that continues out into the world, and you're going to start to see that. I would say if I had to give myself 3 bits of advice for being a freshman again, and man, I wish I could be. I'm so envious of all of you guys. You made an incredible decision, and I really wish I could be doing this all over. But my bits of advice: 1, just because you can, I would not advise having a milkshake every night after dinner. That didn't work out great for me in my freshman year. Number 2, make sure, and you heard this from both Daria and Brian, make sure you take advantage of the space. Virginia Tech has some of the most incredible facilities, the classrooms, the common spaces, the dining halls, obviously the basketball stadium and the football stadium, but then also the region and doing the hiking, doing the river floats, getting out of town, enjoying nature and like all of the amazing beauty that surrounds that place. And then the third is, leverage the people that you're going to meet. Sign up for all of the intramurals you can, go to all the info sessions, show up to the office hours. You're going to get so much more out of your experience just by showing up and being present in all of those things that Virginia Tech has to offer. I can't tell you the amount of friends that I have 10 years after graduation or people that I met through a lot of those organizations. So make sure you show up and enjoy your time. Go Hokies.
Wow, cool, Philip. Thank you. Appreciate that, and I know the rest of the group here does as well. He's absolutely right. There's really nothing else you can say about volunteering and participating. Participation is such a huge thing. You just got to do it. I'll tell you guys from my experience. I had a little bumpy road, right? I was in and out in 4 years, but those first 2 years, kind of like Brian, I probably did a few things I should have stayed away from. However, it's part of the experience. But the last 2 years is where I really, really made a lot of impact to myself, to those around me and my friends. And that's where I've made my lifelong friends as a Hokie. So as you can see now, I'm still engaged. I'm still happy to do it. And just like Philip, we're here to support and provide you guys whatever we can, not only as students, but also, as alumni. So thanks, Philip, for attending. Thanks for providing your feedback. And I guess we'll start shifting to the students, right? So we've done a pretty bang up job right now of introducing a lot of people that have been through Virginia Tech. We're going to continue that, but we want to kind of focus on some of the things that are going to be coming to your front door, right? Things that you're going to see. And I don't know, maybe Mr. Chris Wise from 1989, he can provide some input to us. And I'll tell you, Chris is an assistant vice president for student affairs. He's there ready to help answer questions and things like that. He's got oversight for the Cook Counseling Center, Hokie Wellness, House and Residence Life, Recreational Sports, and the Shifford Health Center. So he's a man of many hats, as we could see. And so with that, Chris, do you want to introduce yourself and introduce the students to the student affairs?
Sure thing. And I'd like to also welcome everybody to tonight's event. My name is, as we said, is Chris Wise. And I'm about to begin my 34th year at Virginia Tech. And my first two were as a graduate student and an out-of-state graduate student. So I know exactly where you all are coming from. And I'm just here to welcome you on behalf of nearly 30 departments and over 3,000 faculty and staff members that make up all the areas of student affairs. And what do we do in student affairs? It's important to you all to know. Well, our work encompasses nearly all aspects of your life outside of your classroom experience, whether that be your housing, your dining, the wellness areas that I oversee, student activities, leadership roles, service, so much more. And I could probably never do justice to what student affairs is and the out-of-class experience as the first three guests have done today. You've heard from a lot of folks who have used the environment here at Virginia Tech and their experiences outside of the classroom to build upon their future and to come back and share that with you all today. And so I probably won't do it justice. So I hope you were paying really good attention to what they all were saying. But again, it's our job to not only provide those services, but to also build community among our students. And that happens a lot with our organizations and a variety of programs that we offer. But Student Affairs also provides transformational learning experiences where we focus on the holistic student experience. We want to complement your academic studies. And indeed, your education is not only about your academic studies. And that's something that, again, people may not realize when they're first coming to college, but you do realize it once you move on through it and you look back on it. That's part of our role. Our role is to enhance those classroom experiences by giving you practical experiences. And practical experiences outside of the classroom is where Student Affairs thrives. So when you're looking for that type of activity, start with Student Affairs, and I think you'll find some outstanding opportunities to build your self while you're here. So we also ensure that our underrepresented, transfer, international, first-generation college students, a variety of those folks also have an equally gratifying and rewarding experience. We provide opportunities for those students as well, and I encourage you to make sure that you seek out those programs if you are someone who fits into those categories that I'm speaking of. So in short, to summarize a little bit of Student Affairs, we're here to help students for life after college by exposing them to dynamic and diverse environments while they're here. We're also here to develop your skills, your competencies, to help you navigate a variety of cultures, of difference, to explore, to be in perspective with what else is out there that you may not have experienced in your high school days. And so we just encourage you to kind of open your eyes to everything that Virginia Tech has to offer. And again, Student Affairs is a great place for you to begin to do that. So let me shift gears for a minute and brag on you guys a little bit and tell you some things that we're excited about that you probably know about yourselves, but may be interesting to you. First of all, we have students this year, freshman students this year, representing 46 different states. And a lot of you are probably on this event right now, and also 46 different countries. So again, when I talk about you're going to meet people and experience things different, just imagine 46 different states, 46 different countries just in your class coming in. We're also welcoming our most diverse freshman class in university history this fall. Historic highs for Black, African-American students, and also historic highs for Hispanic and Latinx students. And we welcome you all and the diverse richness that you'll bring to our community. The next thing I want to brag on you all is 17% of our incoming freshman class are first generation students. I too was a first generation student, and it can be daunting at times. But again, there's nothing better than changing the course of your family's outlook, of your family future. And you have the opportunity to do that as a first generation student by getting involved in the offerings that we have. So again, there are many opportunities for you to get involved in the classroom, in your major, a variety of areas. Student Affairs also provides that opportunity. And we certainly hope that if you're a first generation student, you'll look us up soon and let us try to help you along your path. This year, by the way, there were 31,000 admission applications to Student Affairs, 31,000. And so many of you have made a choice and have been selected to be an important part of the history of Virginia Tech, and we appreciate that. And the sun's actually beating down in Blacksburg, so I'm gonna close my blinds. I apologize. I saw my face there. I had more stripes on my face than I had on my shirt. And the last thing I want to brag on you guys is your average GPA, 3.96, and an average SAT score of 1272. I think the other alums that have talked on this will say wow to that as well. It's an impressive class. A few resources that I want to point out and make sure you're aware of. We recommend that all parents and students follow the main Virginia Tech accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The main Virginia Tech accounts is where you will find a lot of information. There are multiple others. A lot of organizations have their own, a lot of departments have their own, but those three main ones are a great start for you to keep up with the information this year. And probably one of the most important things for you all to follow over the next few days, if you haven't been, is our VT Ready site, vt.edu/ready. It is a unique year. Some folks have talked about it. It's been unique for us that have been here since March. And we are doing everything we can do to prepare to make your first semester at Virginia Tech as positive as it can be in this environment. The Ready site will give you a lot of information that will help you understand what we're doing to help your experience be wonderful. Again, most Student Affairs have their own social media accounts, and there are many others on campus. I would just encourage you that anytime you see something on a social media account that's not a Virginia Tech account, maybe before you share it, or maybe before you start kind of wondering what it means, double check it. Double check it with those Virginia Tech social media accounts, or double check it with the departments here, and let us make sure that the information that you're seeing is correct. Probably 95, 98% of the time, it's going to be correct, but it never hurts to double check those social media accounts, as you know. A couple of other things from me. Upcoming events that you need to know about for this fall. First of all, Welcome Week for our students is a mix this year of virtual and in-person events. We have been building over the last couple of years some fabulous Welcome Week events to get our students kind of engaged right when they move in and get here on campus. Yes, we've had to take some of those virtual. We've had to make some of those hybrid this year for obvious reasons, but don't let that be a reason not to get involved early. Welcome Week is a great opportunity to meet people. It's a great opportunity to find some new interest areas, and it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about Virginia Tech after you move in and before maybe classes start. So look those items up. You can find them on the Hokies on Track app that I believe you used in orientation, and most of those activities will be there. And one thing that I try to tell all students, and I've told them this for 34 years, all of you are anchored to something in the activities world, something that's been a part of your life. And we often talk about people getting new experiences in college. You're going to get those new experiences, but stay anchored for this first semester. Stay anchored to something that's important to you. Even if it's something that you think, I'm going to leave that behind for a little while and try something new, that's okay. But keep that anchor, because most of the times we find out that students that can keep an anchor to something and kind of keep some perspective do better about exploring those new things and feel more comfortable in those first weeks on campus. It can be a challenge. It's not a camp. It'll last for a while, but if you stay anchored to something that's meaningful to you, I think you'll have a great semester. Gobbler Connect is something you need to know about. It's kind of a one-stop shop for all things that are related to our campus engagement and some of our organizations. You can find that at gobblerconnect.vt.edu to learn more about that. And the final thing I'll share is this year, Fall Family Weekend will have to be a virtual event as well. That is quite a bummer to those of us that participate in it and get to welcome families to come see their students, maybe sometimes for the first time since they've moved in, but it's also been a great opportunity to experience things along with your students. This fall, it will have to be virtual, but it is going to be held September 18th through the 20th. Please plan to be with us virtually. We think that we can still engage you a bunch and help you to understand more about what the experience that your students are going through. We ask all your family members to stay home for Fall Family Weekend, but to visit us virtually. It's a big deal. So again, I just want to welcome you again. I've been here for 34 years. This is a fabulous place to be. It's a fabulous place for students to begin the growth of the future of their lives and careers. We've had 3 or 4 students that have talked about some of those things already that, again, can sell what we do in student affairs much better than myself or many of our teammates can. But I think you'll find something for everyone in student affairs. If you don't, come see me, and I guarantee you we can try to help you find it. Welcome to Virginia Tech. I'm excited to see you all soon.
Wow. Chris Wise is full of a ton of information. And I'm telling you guys, he's one dedicated person. It's 7:38 p.m. on the East Coast, and he's still in his office. Chris, we want you to hang on. We might have some questions for you later, but definitely appreciate all that information. I will tell you, you kind of made me wanted to hide in the corner a little bit when you said what the incoming SAT score average was for all the students. I can tell you guys for a fact, I was a first timer, first generation Hokie, and I probably wouldn't have made it in with my grades at first. So I got to tell you guys that the bar just keeps going up every year, and it's impressive. And I too am impressed. Our chapter, just like many other ones, we gave a scholarship out this year, and we got applicants in, and we had to review all the information. And I'm just looking at some of these guys, and you guys are so impressive. So I just want to mimic that from Chris. Thank you for your time. And he's not kidding, right? Some of the student affairs things, let's just take Hokie Wellness, right? You guys know we're one of the most fit campuses around, right? We get voted every year near the top, and there's just so many things to do and so many activities to get into. Residence life and housing, we really appreciate it. All right, so let's move on. We've gone through a lot of kind of personal experiences. We've gone through, of course, with Chris, with your campus life. But what's really important to a lot of people, of course, it's athletics. Now, of course, this year with athletics, it's going to be probably a little different. We haven't really heard a whole lot yet. I don't know if we got any more information coming, but we'll put that on pause for now. But for the time being, for those people who are interested in athletics or sporting event tickets, and you want to go to some of the events there in Blacksburg or otherwise, I'm going to bring on Paul Torgerson from the class of 2012. Paul is going to discuss our Hokie Club, and that is basically our athletic arm there in Blacksburg. So, Paul, I'll turn it over to you. Take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Dana. Now for fall sports, there's a lot more questions than answers, but hopefully in the coming days or weeks, we'll have more clarity on what this fall looks like. But I'm optimistic that football season will happen, so fingers are crossed. But thank you, Damien. And I like you said, I'm a 2012 grad. I guess I'm technically old, but I don't feel old, so that's good. But I want to congratulate each and every one of you for this special opportunity of attending Virginia Tech and officially becoming part of Hokie Nation. It really is special. It was the best. It will be the best 4 years, or in my case, 5 years of your life. So really cherish it. You've heard a lot of awesome things about Virginia Tech and Blacksburg, and there's so much to offer. But like you, I'm coming from out of state. I'm from North Carolina, and I came to school not knowing anyone. So take this opportunity to really branch out, get out of your comfort zone, explore, get involved, figure out what you're passionate about. There's a lot of great opportunities, a lot of reasons to get involved with the community and the school, and a lot of I approached Greek life, and it was a great opportunity for me to meet new people, different backgrounds, and those are the people that are my best friends to this day. So really cherish it, take advantage of it, and enjoy it. And I took advantage of some internship opportunities while I was in school, and it basically helped me find my passion. It helped me determine what I wanted to do for the next 30, 40, 50 years of my life. And that's how kind of I ended up in the Hokie Club. So the Hokie Club, we're part of Virginia Tech Athletics. Just a little background. So what we do is we fundraise for athletics. We're responsible for covering the student athlete scholarship bill. So you have 550 student athletes, and this covers their tuition, their room and board, nutrition, medical expenses, cost of attendance, etc. This upcoming year, it'll be roughly about $17 million. So that's our main priority. And, because of Hokie Nation, we're able to accomplish that every year, but it takes constant support and constant, just dedicated Hokies that want to see the next generation of Hokies be successful and move on and do great things on the field, in the classroom, and, after they graduate. So that's what our main priority is, but we're also responsible for help covering the capital projects and fundraising for sports specific programs. So, when we have a couple initiatives going on right now that will boost our student athlete experience and help them have a better experience while being at Virginia Tech, whether it's helping medically or we have a new nutrition system or nutrition facility that's coming open that's about $16 million. So we find passionate Hokies like yourselves and your parents and hopefully your grandparents, and we find ways to share the experience, share the story, the message that, it is about the student athlete experience. So what can you do to get involved? How can you help? Well, we're looking to try and find 25,000 donors. $25,000 donors will put us on par with, your Clemson's, your Florida State's, the top of the ACC basically. And I think that's our goal across the board within athletics. And we're on our way. We started an initiative 3 years ago with 9,000 donors, and right now we're at 18,000. So we've been able to share the message and get the word out, and I think it's had a great impact. And right now, what you can do as you come into Virginia Tech is we have a student Hokie Club as well. The student Hokie Club is within the Hokie Club, but it connects you with other Hokies that are passionate about sports, that want to be involved, that want to help provide support for our student athletes, that help them reach for excellence, whether it's in the classroom, in the community, after they graduate, et cetera. So we have a student Hokie Club program that it's a membership's $25 a year. We have a lot of exclusive opportunities, exclusive benefits. We provide gifts. We do promotional items. We will give out opportunities to be on the field for Inner Sandman. You can be part of the tunnel. Very unique opportunities that only Student Hokie Club can offer. But it helps you begin to create your network for the next generation. So right now we have 2,000 Student Hokie Club members, and these 2,000 people are in constant meetings and events and just opportunities to connect with one another. And they share a common passion, and we'll do a picnic in the fall or in the spring with coaches and student athletes. So it's just a great opportunity to get involved, kind of see behind the scene picture of how athletics is run, the logistics behind it, et cetera. So it is a great opportunity, but this was my passion. So go out and when you're at Virginia Tech, find your passion, figure out what you're passionate about and attack it. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to build the biggest network you'll ever be able to create. And that's where I think being part of Hokie Nation is so valuable. You'll learn that we have, I think we heard 46 states where we had students coming from, 46 countries, et cetera. So take this opportunity, run with it. You won't regret it. If you have any questions about athletics in general or the Student Hokie Club, or your parents want to join the Hokie Club, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My email's available on the website. So best of luck to y'all. I wish you well. I'm always around Blacksburg, so if you need me, let me know. Thank you.
Wow, really cool, Paul. Thank you a lot for all that information. I got to tell you guys, right, there's always our two arms. We have our Alumni Association where we help out with scholarships and from a human aspect, you know, the students and people going up there. But our Hokie Club, our athletics is obviously super important to us as well. I'm one of those guys, right? I grew up with my second father who was Frank Beamer, right? So let's just be honest. But you know, the Hokie Club, they make it accessible. They make those guys to us, accessible to people like us. And I got to tell you, they've done a lot of things even for us, right? So I know I'm tangenting off our script here a little bit, but Coach Brooks on the women's basketball team, for instance, right? We reached out to him through a Hokie Club member. We had a gentleman here who was an alumni. His daughter had cancer, but he was able to do something really special for the family, kind of reach out to them, had the players sign a few things. So I got to tell you, there's that linkage between the alumni and the staff there locally. It's incredible. You just don't find it in a lot of different places. And I personally appreciate what you guys are doing, Paul. And I know there's a ton of other people do. So thank you very much. All right, cool. Well, I think we need to shift over to our next segment. I know we have a few other alumni associates that are available to us. We have about 4 students here that I wanted to introduce you to. They're part of our Student Alumni Associates program, or the SAA. They support all the programs at Virginia Tech, the Division of Advancement and Alumni Relations. The SAA bridges the gap between students and alumni through their programming. So first, I'll go ahead and we got four names. I'll go through the list here. We have Blythe Hudson. We're going to introduce you to Jules Jones. We have Caitlin Winter, and we've got Danielle Panico. So each one of those will do a little bit of part to introduce themselves. They'll share their year. Hopefully, they'll go through what their major was, and hopefully one piece of advice that they've got for each one of us. So, wait, what? What's going on? Yo, HB, Hokie Bird has made a present. Oh my gosh, you guys can't believe this. Look at this. This is special. I mean, we just got done with that. Hold on, Hokie Bird, let's do something real quick. Can you hear that? Look at that. Yes, sir. Wow. Listen to that. Look. All right. So you guys know the Hokie Bird, right? Here we go. Thank you for joining us, HB. For those that have been around, that's kind of our nickname for him, but we do call him the Hokie Bird. So for those of you guys that are at home, take a minute, take a picture, do your little selfie with the Hokie Bird. I guarantee you when you're on campus, you'll be able to do it in person. So that'd be really cool. All right. So fun facts, right? Well, before we get to our student panel, Hokie Bird, what did you start out as? You were the Gobbler, right? That was the first name of our mascot back in the day. You know, really cool. But we've graduated from there. So our first mascot actually started out as a turkey. He was trained to pull a card at the games in 1913, so way before I was even around, right? And it could gobble on command and do tricks. It was an actual bird that did that. 1962 was the first year that we actually had a costume for the Hokie Bird. So we stepped it up from a real bird to the costume, but not the one that you see today, right? The one you see today came in 1987. Right? So not too far ago, but for you guys, the new freshmen, that was back there in the day a little bit, way before your time, and actually, you know, pretty close to when I was young and before my time. Also in 1981, they stopped using the word gobbler, and that's when we kind of switched it over to the Hokies, right? Now, a little fun fact for those of you freshmen coming in, you may have an opportunity to be the Hokie Bird at some point. So we have students who dress as the Hokie Bird. They all remain anonymous until graduation. And the really cool part is you never know through 4 years. And I can tell you for a fact, I had friends that were the Hokie Bird, and I did not know until what day it was commencement for graduation. That's because they show up with the Hokie Bird's feet underneath their gown. So it's a really cool tradition. There's nothing like it in the rest of collegiate sports or collegiate activities. So yeah, Hokie Bird, thank you for showing up, man. We really appreciate it. Look, he's in front of Burris Hall. He's full of excitement. if you ever get into Lane Stadium for a football game, you might get to send him up the up the stairs. That would be really cool. And yeah, so with that, Hokie Bird, thank you very much. I don't really know what else to say. You know, Hokie Bird doesn't talk, so we got to do that for him. So we appreciate it. And I guess we'll let you get back to it, man. Thank you so much. All right, cool. Well, let's get back to our panel. So that was a little unexpected. Thank you very much. Okay, so I went through the list. We have Blythe, Jules, we have Caitlin, and we have Danielle. We're going to go through a little bit of a Q&A section, and yeah, so let's try to go through these real quick, guys. I will call on you for your responses. Let's see if we can get through those. And I guess we'll start. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. So Blythe, you want to introduce yourself, kind of give us, you know, obviously your name, the year you graduated, your major, or you're going to graduate, your major, and one small piece of advice that you have for Hokie Nation out there, the new people coming in.
All right. Hi, I'm Blythe Hudson. Will be a sophomore this fall. I'm majoring in national security and foreign affairs with a minor in biodiversity conservation and Chinese. And my one piece of advice for freshmen is just to smile at everybody that you pass.
Smiling is definitely important. No, thank you very much. Got to keep that face on. All right, Jules, how about you? Let's switch over.
Hi, my name is Jules, and I am a rising senior studying industrial and systems engineering with a minor in business. I'm from outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my one piece of advice I would say is to, you know, step outside of your comfort zone, join an organization that you may not have thought that you would join before, and just try something new. You know, the thing about Virginia Tech is finding your community and finding your people, and that takes stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Right. Awesome. No, I can confirm that. I had a graduating class of 88 people in my high school, and then I went to Virginia Tech with 37,000. So yeah. That's definitely, you got to step out of your comfort zone. All right. Caitlin Winter, how you doing?
Hi guys. My name's Caitlin Winter. I'm going to be a junior next year, or I guess fall, which is crazy. And I'm double majoring in biochemistry and medicinal chemistry. And like Jules, I'm from Pennsylvania, outside of Philly. And my advice would be kind of what Jules was saying and what's just been reiterated this whole time. But I think really just take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. I mean, Tech is a big school, and you're going to have so many opportunities to meet some really amazing people and get involved in organizations that maybe you never even thought about. So I would just say take them advantage of everything that you're given, even with the classes and everything. You know, try and meet your professors and try to get to know people as much as you can, because it's a really amazing community and it's really gonna follow you forever. So just make the most of everything that you're given.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Caitlin. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna get introduced to Danielle Panico.
Hi everyone, I'm Danielle. I'm a rising junior and my major is public relations and I'm minoring in organizational leadership. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, so long ways away from Tech. But my one piece of advice is really similar to Blythe's. I was going to say to talk to everyone you can. Like, I met some of my best friends from just talking really loud on the drill field and saying something eye-catching or complimenting a stranger. I just love going up to random people, and that's how I've made some of my closest friends.
That's really cool. All right, thank you. So I got a couple questions for you guys. I'm going to call on you individually. We'll just kind of do a round robin here. I'll let you know when to answer the questions. So let's start with, what was it like moving from your hometown to Blacksburg? So Jules, can you give us a little insight into your journey?
Yes. So I came from a small town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My high school was around 180 students in my class, and Virginia Tech was a huge difference. And I really took a step outside of my comfort zone when I decided to go to Virginia Tech. And to be honest, it was difficult at first. And I was homesick, and I would cry as my parents would leave from the Owens parking lot. But, you know, looking back, those moments when I felt a little bit lost or uncomfortable made me stronger and made me appreciate the Virginia Tech experience now as a senior. And you know, it may be difficult, but don't be afraid to, you know, talk to people in your hall and talk to your RA, reach out to your advisors and your peers in your classes, and, you know, the Hokie community is there for you. So although it may be difficult at first, I really recommend just, you know, leveraging your resources and talking to people and being open and vulnerable, which was really helpful in the long run.
Awesome. Thank you. And we'll do one more. How about Blythe? Tell us about your journey to Blacksburg and from where?
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I graduated with 35 other girls. So Virginia Tech was also just a huge transition, one being so big and also co-ed. But it was definitely scary. I didn't know anybody going to Tech. I wasn't friends with anybody coming in. But really just like, again, what Danielle said, just talking to people that you pass or just people that you've seen twice, you're like, oh, I recognize you. You're a familiar face. I met my very best friend at the Hokie High picnic just because I sat next to her because she looked nice. I didn't know her name. We just started talking and now she's my best friend. So it was certainly scary. And there were some days when I really didn't want to be there. But within about 2 weeks, I was like, all right, this is home. This is where I need to be. This is where I feel loved.
Awesome. No, that's a great story. And I can tell that I've had family from Pennsylvania, so I've made that trek too. You know, my dad's from Pittsburgh and my grandmother lived in Allentown, so moving from Pennsylvania down to Virginia was a big deal. So, you know, you guys from North Carolina or from Boston, we're down here in Florida. You know, everyone's the same way, right? You come in and you're not sure what's going on. So thank you guys for that insight. Let's move on. So let's just say it was difficult, right, coming in. So what if you have kind of a bad semester, you're not doing quite well, maybe you're a little lonely, maybe you're kind of going through some things right there on campus, maybe you had a bad test or an exam. You know, Caitlin, how did you handle anything that would have come up? And maybe you haven't, hopefully you haven't, but has there been any cases where you've just kind of needed to pick yourself up a little bit? And how did you do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a very different transition from high school and everything, and just all those, you know, the professors and everything. It's very different. And so one thing that I found really helpful when I had a tough time was just branching out and talking to the people, even on my hall. I lived on a hall with sophomores too. So I got to really talk to them and get some knowledge from them about, you know, how they handled that stuff. So I think just like surrounding yourself with that community and knowing that Virginia Tech is just such a loving place, you know, we're all here for each other. We all want to cheer each other on. So I think being able to go and talk to those people and tell them that you're having a rough time. And then I think that's just so empowering because you get to be honest with people and you get to see that, hey, you know, there's always more to strive for and that sometimes you get knocked down. But the big thing about Tech is we always get back up and we just keep going and keep striving to do better.
Nah, that's awesome advice. Thank you very much. Danielle, let's reach out to you. Do you have any advice for our young freshmen coming in case they run into some obstacles? What's available to them?
So there are a million resources, but first of all, if you have a bad semester or a bad exam or something, the first thing you have to do is realize that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. You're going to be fine. And crying isn't going to turn your 50 into 100. So you're still going to live to see another day. And I liked how Caitlin said to talk to people and be honest with them. But I also think it's really important to be honest with yourself. Like you need to ask yourself, did you actually put in the effort for that grade? And what can you do to be better? And then I think identifying those weaknesses and then actually attacking them. Be partying all the time. And say, oh, whoa, why did I get 50? You need to make it your priority to put your education first and then have an actual plan. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. That's Benjamin Franklin, but I live by that. So I think having a concrete plan how to attack things is really important. But there are a ton of resources like Cook Counseling. Like if you're going through anything, Virginia Tech has a million things just to help you. Like a million clubs, a million people that just want to talk to you. And you can talk to me, you can email me, like I'm always there. There are a lot of Hokies that just want to help each other. And that's the best thing about being at Virginia Tech. People like genuinely care. Like I went to a wicked small high school and it's not like everybody really cared there, but going to Tech, the professors care, your peers care, everyone there genuinely cares. And it's really evident, like when you step on campus, you will feel it. We can say it till we're blue in the face, but you're going to feel it when you get on campus.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing more Hokie about what you just said, Danielle, and I can tell you I appreciate it because she's not kidding. I guarantee you, if any of you guys have a question, you can reach out to Danielle or any of these young ladies, right? And they're going to help you with something. So it's just the Hokie way, right? So I definitely appreciate those comments. Well, let's move on. So we got the school stuff out of the way. All right. So personal life, what's fun to do in Blacksburg, Jules? What do you do for fun? What's your favorite places to go? Maybe, I don't know, restaurant, place to see.
Yeah, so some of my favorite things, I enjoy trying new restaurants. Some of my favorites are the Cellar, Cabo Fish Taco, Souvlaki. I love trying different food in the Blacksburg area. I love to go on hikes, the Cascades, McAfee's Knob, Bald Knob. We have some really great hikes in Blacksburg. The farmers market on Saturday mornings are so much fun. I go there almost every Saturday. And then I also love golfing. So Virginia Tech has a golf course, and it's a great place to just practice and play some golf with some friends. And then we also have a driving range right outside of Blacksburg. So lots of opportunities to explore the area.
That's great. And I'm glad to see there's a female golfer out there. I'm actually a high school golf coach. Yeah. And no, it's funny enough, there's a lot of scholarships that go unused for golf. So so those are some fun things to do in Blacksburg. What about maybe a tradition or an activity? Can you give us any insight, Blythe, to like a tradition that you've learned at Virginia Tech, or some kind of activity you think is kind of special to the area?
I think so many events happen in the spring that got cut short this year, like the big event and the Relay for Life and big event and events kind of like that. And so those were my favorite, even virtually, getting to do them, running the 3.2 for 32. Things bring people, like every event at Virginia Tech just seems to bring people together. That seems they're always for a bigger event, but the end goal always seems to be just to bring people together for a cause. So anything that has to do with bringing people together is just going to be a success. And so that, I think the 3.2 for 32, this was my freshman year this past year. And so I've never got to run it with in Blacksburg, but that was a really sweet moment for me to get to run it by myself in Winston, but knowing that there was an entire country. And I'm sure there are people around the world doing the exact same thing as me for those 3 days. So that was one of my favorite things that happened this year. And it wasn't even in Blacksburg.
Yeah, no, that you're absolutely right. It happens all over the world, and I got to tell you that event is really special to myself and my wife in particular. We knew one of the professors that was sadly taken from us, but to have people show that spirit and to show that gathering every single year without fail, it's just heartwarming for me and for everybody else out there. So yeah, no, there's great activities. Thank you for sharing that. I know we want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're running a little bit past what we thought we were going to do. So ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight. And for those of you out there, hit Danielle up. She'll answer all your questions. She seems like she's all about it. So with that, ladies, thank you so much. I'm gonna move on, and thank you for your time, and good luck with the rest of your time there in Blacksburg. All right, cool. So listen, we've had a lot of great information, right? Everything from student life to life after Virginia Tech to, athletics and to student activities and everything else, under the sun, right? I just can't say enough that there's so much to do. There's so much you're going to learn, and there's so many things you can get involved in. So I'm going to leave you guys with a couple things, some final advice that I'd like to share with you, so that some of our alumni associates try to share with their students. And I think it's already been said. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them really quickly. Go to class. I know it sounds dumb, right? Go to class, attend class, right? Don't skip out. Don't feel like you have something else to do. Use your time wisely, get the education, and go to class, right? So we just can't stress that enough, right? Use office hours, get to know your professors, reach out, do something outside your comfort zone. We had multiple people say that, right? So reach out to those professors, become not just a face in the crowd, but be face-to-face with people, get to know people. Stay in touch with your academic advisor. I can tell you from personal experience that can be detrimental to you if you do not stay in touch with your academic advisor. They will guide you. They are there to help you out. All right. So make sure you do that. as you get to meet people, look, Danielle just said it, reach out to her, right? Collect contact information, make sure you get a hold of people, keep their phone numbers, keep their emails. You're right. You never know what can happen. I can tell you, I got one of my first jobs out of college because Virginia Tech was on my resume. So there is that. So last thing I'll leave you, parents, I know there's parents out there watching, stay involved, get involved, join the alumni groups that are there locally. We are more than happy to help you out. Join us for our events. Go to the Facebook pages. Check us out. Like I think Chris mentioned, all the other places, Twitter, all the public locations where we share information. Make sure you do that. So with that, I want to thank all of our alumni, our faculty, our staff that were able to join us today. It wouldn't be right if I didn't teach the rest of you guys a couple things you're going to need to learn. One of them is the hand signal. You got to learn how to do that. For the old school people, there you go, right? Just something kind of fun. If anyone ever does that, you're going to see them. So class of 2024, welcome to Virginia Tech. We could say it 1,000 times, but we're super excited for every single one of you. We're excited to see what things are going to happen, how you're going to proceed through your life, what kind of fun things you're going to get into, and then what kind of professions you're going to get into afterwards. So we hope to meet you guys in person, maybe in the next couple weeks or months or years to come. Use the folks there on campus. And as many people have said over and over again, ut prosum, know what that means, that I may serve. We live it, we die by it, right? It actually means something for us. And without hesitation, if someone says, let's go, you don't ask them where we're going. You say, go Hokies. All right, cool. So we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much. We look forward to seeing how everything's going to go for you. And I guess we're out. Thank you so much, Hokie Nation. Appreciate it.